Dehydration is more than just a symptom, it's a signal. There was a time before I started getting IV therapy that I was very dehydrated. And I didn't realize that dehydration actually is also like a metaphysical way to show you that your soil is dry and can suffocate your seeds. So when you're dehydrated, you got to think about like your brain. It's not moist, it's not pliable, and it's harder for it to stretch and contain all of the elements, visions, or dreams that you have to, move you forward on your path. So, dehydration is actually one of the key components that help you to make sure you're able to not only sustain, but maintain where you're headed. Staying hydrated, eating fruit that contains a lot of water, and sometimes adding a little bit of salt to your water can really help you to stay hydrated, pliable, and ready to grow. When I was like the most dehydrated, I was not motivated. I always had a little attitude, and I felt stagnant in my thinking. I started going to get IV therapy treatments just because I heard somebody else on Instagram talk about it, and it seemed like it worked out well. After I had my first one, it was like my clarity returned immediately. And that's kind of what showed me that being dehydrated wasn't just about moving too fast or not pausing long enough to think about how I felt on the inside. The dehydration was actually a thief. And so, if you can just give yourself a little bit more water, a little bit more fluidity, you can actually restore a lot of your flow, which will allow more currency to come into your life and increase your wealth, also your health, and it may even improve your memory because water actually holds memory. And so if you think about all the things that are in your muscles, muscle memory, and the things that your body needs to remember in order to become who you were already born to be, staying hydrated and avoiding dehydration is probably the number one way to avoid burnout and to make sure your flame burns bright and you keep moving right. So if you want everything to continue to flow, make sure you drink water and or stay hydrated. Okay? All right. Be sweet.